I have to say, there was, from my point of view, and I'm not being sycophantic here, there was quite a lot to welcome in what the Secretary of State was saying, because as a Chief Executive of Acute Trust, a number of things, they look challenging but helpful. So certainly a multi-year tariff, if that can actually be delivered, would be a really positive development. I mean, we have been disrupted, if you go back far enough, a few times by last-minute sort of tariff messing about. Not in recent times, it's got better, but certainly that would be very welcome. The linkage of tariff to quality is challenging, but very hard to argue with. It is, as the Secretary of State said, it is relative. The situation at the moment, I think it's a very good point, is that you can appear to perform extremely well, but not necessarily be delivering very high patient satisfaction. I think that is a function of the way the system currently works. It is getting better, but if there's a step change there, that to me is welcome and will certainly concentrate the mind. Linking financial incentives with quality incentives is going to produce quick results, because there's a very, very strong imperative in the system there. So that all makes sense from my point of view.
A zero real rise for the NHS in the medium term looks optimistic, given the trade-offs that any government, whoever gets into power, would have to make between spending on other departments, between tax rises and so on. And the task for the NHS, potentially, in terms of trying to close that gap with what Sir Derek Wanless said, I mean, it's 7 years ago now, but he was talking about catch-up. Along his projections, we're still having to do some catch-up. And the gap is just huge every year. The issues around tariff and tackling some of this, yes, presumably you can look forward, John, to a massively reduced tariff over the next few years. What are you going to do about that? That passes on this urgency to the front line to then tackle productivity, efficiency, and so on. It doesn't actually tell you how to do it. It doesn't actually help you. It simply passes on the pressure down to the front line to do it. One of the tasks for the department, and they're beginning to do this, is to really, rather than just fiddle around with the levers to pass the pressure down the system, but is to really help people in the front line. I don't think the NHS willingly wants to be inefficient or unproductive. It's knowing how to do it. And as I say, I think the task for me, for the NHS over the coming years, is going to be huge. And I really don't think we should underestimate that.